Hello, everyone. My name is Adam, KN6QGV, and welcome to another episode of Ask Me Anything. We're going to start by saying hello and seeing who's here. We got James, KE8TEZ. Welcome, James. Good to see you. James again. JL chiming in tonight. Welcome. Good to see you. Bruce from California, my hometown, or my home state, KD6DHR. Welcome. Brandon, KD0DWV from Minnesota, currently in Florida. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying your vacation down there. VE2UGO from Quebec, Canada. Welcome. Steve, hello. Welcome. It's good to see you. Greg, hello. Welcome from Tennessee. Nice to see you. KB3AIC. Welcome. Stephen Platt, KC4JGC from Virginia Beach. Welcome. Bruce from Georgia, KQ4CBQ. Sorry about that. Welcome. Good evening from West Virginia. Good evening, Chuck, KB8YIT. Roy, good evening. KA8BYU. Chris, VE7UTV from British Columbia. Welcome. All right. We got a lot of faces here, familiar faces. We got some new faces. It's nice to see everyone. If you haven't done so already, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. It helps us out. And thank you, everyone. I didn't mention this last week, but you guys did help us get to 30,000. We are past that now, and we do really appreciate everyone. So thank you, everyone. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to start by going over a recap of yesterday's. Yesterday, we went over setting up the hotspot with multiple networks, TGIF and Brandmeister. So we're going to go over that configuration real quick. And then we're going to open up the floor to some questions and answers. Now, before we begin, I just want to make sure everyone knows Josh's July SMS giveaway is here. Make sure you guys sign up for our SMS giveaway and enter to win a free 878 UV2 Plus. We send out text messages with the codes every few days, so make sure you get those and you apply so you get yourself a free Anytone 878 UV2 Plus. All right. Now, let's start diving in. As you guys could see here on my screen here, that we actually have a general configuration. Now, we did do this in a duplex configuration yesterday instead of a simplex. So that is just one of the configuration changes you might see here. We're going to go over everything. So as you can see, we have the split right here. We're coming down here. We're set to DMR gateway because we're going to be using multiple DMR networks. The first network here is automatically going to be assumed as Brandmeister. So we set our Brandmeister network here, set the password here. Now, if we come over to our Brandmeister self-care portal, services self-care. Oh, let me log in. You'll notice down here it says hotspot security password, and that is actually where we put in that password, and that password will actually be your hotspot security password you put right here. Now, a lot of people have none here. I always tell everyone, make sure you put a 1, 2, one of these numbers in there because this is going to distinguish the difference between your radio and your hotspot. And if you have multiple hotspots, they all need to have a different unique number. Otherwise, traffic will they won't know where to send the traffic properly. So just make sure you guys have that set. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Expert. We're going to go to DMR Gateway. And we're going to scroll down. And this right here, whoop, a little too far, right here, is the section that we have added for TGIF. Now, a few noticeable differences from the configurations you'll find online is that one, this has prime.tgif.network. This was recently added to help with some of the issues that people were having when connecting directly to tgif.network. Your password here is one that is generated. Let me actually come here to my user security. That is your key right here. When you push this regenerate, it regenerates. So if you guys saw yesterday's stream, as you can see, today is a different ID. As easy as that, you just click those buttons, it regenerates a new key. Now, in here, since TGIF does not actually have an echo or a parrot group, what we actually do is we come here and we set up time slot 1 and 2 to go for 400, which is the prefix. 4 is the prefix, 0 is the padding for the TGIF network that we're setting up. And I'll get into that in a second here. So what this does is when you go 4009990, it's actually going to change that to 9990 and send it out over Brandmeister. But that's just checking the configuration for the switch that you're having, the rewrites. If that works, then everything should work properly. Now, right here, we have talk group rewrite. What this does is this does the padding with the 4 for time slot 1 and 2. Then what we have is our padding of zeros and group 1. Then what we got over here is 999999, which is going to be the highest one. We don't put the padding there. So that'll be 4999999 would be the highest number there. It's saying from 1 to 999 all the way. This is just rewriting them again, just making sure we have everything done. The source rewrites, this is for the opposite way. So when it receives the 999 back, it knows how to convert that back to 4009990 when you're on the TGIF network. This right here, this last two, do the source rewrite. So when you get them back as, 400110 for North America, it'll actually convert that back to 110 for you. So these do all the conversions between the two. So when it receives the normal one, it converts it back. And then the last thing that's you have to make sure you have in is your DMR ID. This DMR ID is how you authenticate, and it will match it up. As you can see, there are 2 DMR. Here, let me move myself real quick. As you can see, there's 2 DMR IDs. They have different security keys and different IDs. So that will be how you authenticate. So if I had one hotspot using this, it would be using this key. If I had another hotspot using this DMR ID, it would use this security key. That, again, is the ID that you're setting right here. Once all these are set, you can do apply. When you come back to your dashboard, you will notice that it actually says Brandmeister 3104 United States and TGIF network. Now, I do have DMR to YSF crossover enabled as well, but we can ignore that for now. Now, let me see. If I can actually. Which one did I do? 2367. Give it a second. Come on. Sometimes it requires a second radio on in that channel. Now, this is one of the more difficult configurations to do, so don't be surprised if you do have some of these issues right off the bat, like I am, because some of these are actually, for some reason, the network just has some communication issues sometimes. There we go. As you see on that radio, it instantly went through, and there we go. Here I am. Now, does anyone have any questions? I do apologize. Is there any way to magnify my screen? I could try to zoom in a little bit. Let me know if this helps. Let me put my screen back up. Let me know if that helps a little bit. And I'll go to the configuration so you guys can see the configuration. All right, well, while everyone starts to think of some questions and everything, can the 878 be programmed without Windows OS? Yeah, you actually can program your radio directly from the front panel here. So you don't actually need a CPS. It will take a little bit more time. It is a little more like time consuming. It does, you know, you have to set every option, and it's a little bit more difficult than using a Windows OS, but it is possible. If you have a Mac, there are such options as dual boot. You can get that, or you can use something like Parallels, which is another software you can use on your Mac that will allow you to access or install Windows so you can access and use our software. As of right now, we do not have anything for Mac. We are asking and we have asked, but there does not seem to be any kind of development in the future as of yet. But if that changes, we will let you know. Use Chromebook. Okay, yeah, Chromebook has a limited capabilities as things. They limit what software could be installed, and they tend to not work 100% with all our software. You're welcome, Ron. If you guys have any questions, it doesn't have to be about this. It could be about anything amateur radio. It could be anything, you know, you guys want to ask a question, ask away. What if my hotspot does not have the DMR4 networks available? First off, make sure you're, if you're talking about your hotspot right here, and you don't have these options available, make sure you're in MMDVM host and not D-Star repeater. If you're in D-Star repeater, it will remove most of these options right here. So make sure you're in MMDVM host. And if you're still having an issue, call our tech support and we'll be more than happy to help you. Good evening, Joel. Good luck, Kyle. We always want more technicians, you know, we always need more of you guys. Anyone who's looking to get their license, go for it. Don't hesitate. You need some help, we will help you. We'll help you get some resources. We'll show you guys where to get some information. We'll help you with places to take different tests. We'll provide you guys with all the same resources a lot of our guys went through when they didn't have their license, and they all got their license a couple of months ago. So, you know, it's a great hobby to get into and a great thing to enjoy. I love amateur radio. I love all of it. On Talk Group 91, I have had a message come up on my 878 that says missed call. What causes this to pop up? Sometimes it just pops up when a call, literally it's just someone keying up. It'll sometimes say a missed call from them. There is no general thing like someone directly called you. It's just there was no response on your end, or your radio's been sitting for a minute and they just want to, you know, it's just something that pops up. I'm not 100% sure what causes it, but I do know it might be the system just sending something your radio, not acknowledging it properly, and it just saying, hey, you got a missed call. That would be my best guess for that, educated wise. All righty. Well, while we got a moment here and you guys are going to be throwing in those questions, make sure you guys redeem your Hamshack this July with Bridgecom's premium radios. The winner of our Hamshack redemption giveaway will take home our Hamshack Pack 2, one of our best bundles in DMR. The Hamshack Pack 2 includes our 878 UV2 Plus, a 578 UV3 Plus, a Skybridge Plus, and tons of accessories to spice up your amateur radio experience. So guys, make sure you guys get those today. I have one and it is amazing. I love it. And I'm actually thinking about getting a second one. All righty. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone have anything they want to discuss? Want to go over? Anyone have anything? Doug, you run 12 units? Why do you hear 91 on a frequency, on any frequency you set? Could be that you did not disconnect. Make sure you disconnect from wherever you are, because that could be one option. The other option is you have digital monitor on, that could be on. You could have a digital receive group with 91, or you have 91 set as the channel on all those frequencies. So make sure you check all three of those. And I mean, all three, four of those. And make sure you actually check every option and make sure it's not one of those. Got my 878 Plus and running with my Skybridge Plus today. I spoke with the gentleman from Serbia. Excellent beginnings. Thanks. Glad you love your hotspot and your plug and play package. We are glad to hear that you got it up and running easily. That's what we like to hear. And that actually is the exact reason why we set up these plug and plays. So anyone who wants to get one, make sure you guys call in and grab one. We got some amazing deals going on. Actually, I don't know. I think we have a good repeater deal going on, but here is our plug and play package. It comes with our 878 UV2 Plus, our Skybridge Plus, and if you get the package together, I believe you can even get a code plug with it. So make sure you guys ask about our hotspots, call in. Our representatives are very knowledgeable, and they'll be more than happy to help you guys. Is there such thing as a good HF antenna that isn't 100 foot long? Any recommendations? Actually, there are a couple of good antennas out there. It depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to go for one band, you're trying to do multi-band. There are some that actually do this like upside down umbrella type thing, and it works really well. You put it up, 10, 15 feet. They come together. You also can make some of your own antennas and other things, but there's a lot of different antennas out there. I would look online, look at some of the Hamfests. A lot of people love to. And then Parks on the Air, a lot of people show them off. Any type of, the gathering of ham people and all of that. Like we just had field day the other day, not too long ago, last week. And people were showing those off. Or it might have been a week before, but still, people were showing those off. And people have, a lot of different antennas out there, and people come up with them all the time. I think Jason, one of our old hosts, he's done a couple reviews on good HF antennas. So maybe check out some of his streams. Ordered my hotspot, gonna have fun trying to figure out code plugs and everything. I wish I knew about the plug and play before I got my 878. Actually, you can upgrade to the plug and play if you already have an 878. Send your radio back in, and we can actually program that with your hotspot and send that back to you. So anyone who's looking to upgrade that already has an 878, for $500, we have that upgrade package for for our hotspot, which you can upgrade your package and move it over so that way you have your own plug and play. Not on a regular, Doug, but it's not unheard of us including or sending a second SD card to someone. But usually we can actually just provide you with a configuration copy. We can email you a copy of your configuration, which you can restore from, and go from there if you do have a plug and play with us. So that is another advantage of getting a plug and play with us. We keep a backup of your configurations, and we can send that to you guys in case of loss, failure, or anything. Now, if you guys are liking our streams and everything and you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe down below. And if you guys happen to have any information or any ideas for shows, please let us know. Write down this number, 636-264-8325. That is our tech line. And our tech representatives will be answering those. If you want to leave a message with some of these ideas, leave a message if we're not here. Call us during the day. We'd be more than happy to help you with any of your tech issues, or if you just want to say hey and drop down some ideas, please, we'd love to hear from you. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know. Please define hotspot. It does get a little confusing, a hotspot. Our hotspot is a digital gateway that connects your radio to the internet and via the internet to a network. A network being, let me pull up my screen here so I can show you two different ones. Network being Brandmeister right here, or TGIF. There's also DMR Mark and Free DMR, a couple other ones out there. So if you guys, this screen actually right here is my hotspot, what we call, which is our SkyBridge. So this is what we refer to when we say hotspot. But it is our SkyBridge. It is an MMDVM module that works with the Pi-Star. We also, there are some other ones out there, not just on the Pi-Star. They're on the Pi Zero. They're also on some other boards that people make. And you could find them out there. Not just our SkyBridge, but our SkyBridge is probably one of the better ones, because a lot of those out there that you find really cheap are only simplex, no duplex, and have some issues. But these are great. And for a hotspot, it's pretty much a gateway between your radio and the network, so you don't have to use a repeater. When you use a Windows system, what is your preference to use, i.e. Chrome? I'm actually using Edge. It's built in with the system. I don't like all those other programs in my computer because then they install all these updates and other things. Personally, I stick with what's built into the operating system because that's integrated best. And then I have all my added securities on top of that. So I personally use Edge for the internet. But Windows is my preference. I've used all of them. So is it hardware as well as software? Yes, it's a combination of two. So let me bring up this picture of our SkyBridge here. So as you can see, this is a device with a little screen and an antenna on it. This is actually the hardware, and the software that runs in it is the Pi-Star that you actually see on my screen. So when we come back to my screen here, this is the software running on that device, and that allows the communication between the network and all of that communication, the secure communication between the networks. In my opinion, SkyBridge is the best hotspot. Let's go back to that one. It's the best hotspot. Have you tried the DV Mega Stick? What is it like? No, I have not personally tried the DV Mega Stick. I have helped a customer with it a little bit, but I personally prefer the SkyBridge. I think it's a great, great device, and it's never failed me. As you can see, I do multiple configurations on here, and you know, I think it's great. It's an amazing device. The only thing I'd say maybe in the future, a little bit bigger of a screen like I added. But other than that, it's an amazing device. Do you have a flow chart explaining channel, talk group, zone, TAC, etc., and how it all connects? No, but that could be something I could look into. I'm actually writing that down right now as something that we could maybe work on getting and providing for you guys. So that is a great question. I can explain all of them. I just don't have a flow chart. And if you'd also like, if you go back to our stream, I think it was our first one of these new BCU Live with Dan and I doing together on Wednesdays, you will actually see us go through and explain all of these different things and do setup with the zones, the channels, the tax. So that is also a great reference. So if you guys haven't done that already, make sure you guys go and check out those videos from the previous ones. So you guys can actually get up to date with some of the information that we're doing. But that is a great question here. And I will try to make a flowchart that we can set out there. To use my radio on a trip, correct me, I will have to program the local repeater for the area and reprogram my radio, no hotspot. You can, if you have no hotspot, you can. There are a few things I would like to mention. Check out roaming and GPS ranging. These are two features I would recommend looking into. We are going to do something on these very soon. We are building up our presentations for them. Excuse me. And we will actually show you how to do it. But with GPS ranging, what it does is it grabs the closest repeater that's in your radio based off of your GPS location and its GPS location, and will automatically switch zones to it. So that is a very neat feature. Roaming is nice if you know which repeaters you know are going to be near, and you just wanted to jump down the line looking for the best one because you're just going to a vicinity of maybe 3 of them, and you're not leaving the area. Roaming's probably a little bit more better for you, because then what it'll do is it'll pick the one that has the strongest signal to you, so that way you can actually have the strongest signal while you're out and about. Now, I do use roaming specifically here in Los Angeles. It is great with all the repeaters we have here. So whichever one I'm closest to or whichever has the best signal, it automatically goes to it. Now, I am just getting into the GPS ranging and all of that, so stay tuned. But maybe you can search YouTube and find a video on that. That would be the two options I would suggest if you don't have a hotspot. Otherwise, a hotspot is the way to go. On my 868HT, I was able to figure out how to do digital APRS via my local BMR repeater in Virginia Beach. This week, I tried the same via repeaters in Omaha, but no success. As long as you're connected to, okay, let me pull up I'm going to pull up my CPS here. Give me a second. As long as you have your APRS settings set correctly and you set the channel to have APRS on, then it should automatically start to go. So what I'm going to do, and I do apologize here as I cannot zoom in anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm bringing up these APRS settings, and I will just go over them real quick. Let me just go to my screen only. Okay. So on field, okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. So make sure you guys have your settings basically set up. So for digital, we're going to be looking at this section up here. We want to go current channel, current slot, 310999. And you want to make sure that this is how it's set, because you could have this set to a certain channel in your local area, and that could be why it's doing it. The second thing is repeater activation delay is 600. Now, when you come to a channel, let's just say I'm just going to pick this first channel. What you're going to do is you're going to come to APRS reporting type and make sure it says analog or digital. Since you want to do digital, we would select digital. This is an analog channel, so it won't work. But I'll just do digital to show you. Now, what this does is when you automatically set the reporting type to analog or digital, it's going to automatically start your beacon. So if we come back to our APRS settings, right here we have auto APRS intervals set to 30. If you have it set to 60, 90, whatever it may be, this is when you have that set, that one setting set, this will automatically kick in. So the auto beacon will start kicking in. Now, let's just come back to here. And if we had right here, analog, start a transmission or end of transmission on analog, or if we did digital, right here, push to talk on, this would be considered a manual push to talk APRS send. So this will manually send your APRS packets every time you push the button. Make sure those are set. And then for digital, here's where you select which channel you want. That's those settings we saw on the APRS, all those. And then analog, it would be right down here. So make sure you have all those set in order to actually transmit, and you should be fine, because APRS is 310999 in the US. The 310 is the US portion. So if you are in another country, look up your first 3 digits to make sure that you match it to your local APRS. Does SkyBridge use a full-size Pi? Yes, we're actually using the Pi Star 4 in there right now. We used to use the Pi Star 3B. So yes, we are using a full-size Pi Star in there. All righty. Also, can programming hotspot to use your phone as an internet connection? Yes, you can. Now let me come back to my hotspot real quick. And what we're going to do is in your configuration page, there's 2 things we need to do. One, you'll click on configure Wi-Fi. Now, as you can see, this is my hotspot. All you have to do is go scan for networks. Let this scan, make sure your hotspot is on your phone. And then once the network comes up, give it a second, boom. You select your network appropriately. That'll add it up here, put in the password, save and connect. Once you do that, this is a very important step that a lot of people forget to do. Come up to power and click on reboot. That is necessary to actually connect to a Wi-Fi network. So make sure you guys do reboot your hotspot or your SkyBridge or whichever one it may be that you guys have. Make sure you reset it so that the Wi-Fi can connect to your home Wi-Fi or your cell phone. Now, if you are doing your cell phone as a hotspot, make sure it's the first one in your list, because if you have your home internet connection on that or your Wi-Fi, and then you go in your car and try and do it, it's going to connect to your home and it's not going to connect to your cell phone, and you're going to be getting really aggravated. So I tell everyone, make sure your cell phone hotspot is number 1 in the list. 0, actually. It will be network 0 in your list. Is there a CPS manual? Yes, it's a little out of, I believe we have one for the CPS. I know there's one for the radio, but I believe it might be a little out of date right now. If you actually just send in a ticket with us through our help desk system on our support site, we can actually send that to you, what we have and all of that. So if anyone needs that, make sure you write in a ticket to us or our help desk system, and we will be more than happy to send these documents or any documents to you that you need from this. Anyone else have any questions out there? All right. Well, first off, I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone that came out tonight. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. And if you guys want, make sure you guys call in and get yourself on the waiting list for our 878 UV3 UV3 578, sorry, our 578 UV3 Bluetooth mic. So again, make sure you guys get this. This should be coming in fall, and we are really excited for this. A couple of us have had it in hand. We've used it. It's amazing. It's like one of our little 878s here, but without a antenna. So guys, make sure you get on our list for this so you get the first notifications and you guys can purchase it. Now for everyone at Bridgecom Systems, myself, KN6QGV, Jeremy, KD5YUZ, we say thank you and we appreciate you guys so much. Again, 73, and have a great evening.